What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shake 72 coming to you guys with the video right now. So I want to talk about JJ Arcega-Whiteside. I want to talk about Aaron Moorehead, the wide receiver coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and talking about this receiver core. Talking about JJ Arcega-Whiteside, it seems like Aaron Moorehead is putting a lot of praise in JJ and thinks that he has something to bring to this team. Now, I know these coaches aren't supposed to say anything bad about players, but obviously I want to, kind of go into what he did say at his press conference a few days ago. And I think this is a player that we really need to, we don't really think about him too much. We keep forgetting he's on this roster half the time because he really doesn't matter to us half the time. So he is the umbrella man, as you could see right here. But just want to go over what he said. So Aaron Moorehead says it felt like every time he was doing good, he got dinged up. He come back, he get dinged up again, and then all of a sudden you look, the season is over. JJ was able to block out that social media noise last year, and that was great for him mentally. He just caught the injury bug. JJ would be the first to tell you that last year was not good, Moorehead said, but JJ's in a great place right now, playing good ball. He had a good 3 weeks here with us. I'm excited to see where JJ can put himself this year. And then obviously talking about the receiver core as a whole, he says this is a good room. This is a young room. They are going to be fighting their butts off for roster spots this year. So with JJ Arcega-Whiteside, look, he was a second-round pick. The Eagles are trying to still give him a chance to do something, but obviously, Aaron Moorehead talked about the injuries. And I think the one thing the Eagles have been doing wrong with these receivers is, number one, not using them the right way. Number two, if a receiver makes a good catch, you keep him on the field. Half the time, even JJ caught a couple good balls at the end of the 2019 season. He just ran to the sideline. Why not keep him in the game? Why not try to do more with him? You know what I mean? But obviously, he had a lot of injuries. He's had a lot of injuries. Social media, you play for Philadelphia. You play for the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to get chewed out if you play bad. But at the same time, the one guy we should be mad at is Howie Roseman for drafting him, passing on guys like Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf. I mean, you can go through the whole list of how many players we've passed on. He is the most low productive receiver from that draft, and I could see why. He was supposed to be pretty much the Alshon Jeffrey replacement. He was supposed to be the Alshon Jeffrey clone, but a little bit more elusiveness, good footwork, better catch radius. He was supposed to be the little bit of the advance of Alshon Jeffrey, and it never worked out. So, I understand Aaron Moorehead has, thinks because if he wasn't hurt that maybe he would have been a better player. I don't know. But all jokes aside, for him being the umbrella man, we got to think of this. With Trevon Grimes that got put back on IR because of the knee procedure, okay, he has a better chance to make the roster, but I think by a long shot, I think these other receivers on this squad, like John Hightower and Quez Watkins and just some of these other guys, I just think Greg Ward, I just think that they've had better short-term success. Some of these guys have hit the field for a few weeks. Travis Fulgham, being that star for a good amount of time, and then obviously getting injured and then not really getting his chance again, coming into games here and there when Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson came back. I just don't think he has a chance. You have Jamon Osborne from Texas A&M, undrafted. We'll see what he does. I mean, you have some guys on this roster that are hungry, and I'm not saying that JJ is not hungry, but at the same time, I just don't think he's going to make the roster. I really highly doubt it, all jokes aside. And I think he's going to be a practice squad player. I think he's just going to be, I just don't think he's going to be anything. I mean, the Eagles are trying to get some worth out of him, but, this is a new era now. This is the Nick Sirianni era. Nick Sirianni is in Howie's ear now. I think we could kind of see what happened during this past draft. And, and I don't care. I don't care what Aaron Moore has to say about 3 weeks of OTAs. Who cares? You're not doing 7-on-7s. You're not doing 11-on-11s. You're not doing all the competitive stuff. I mean, yeah, when guys look good at OTAs, it is what it is. You want to make sure these guys can catch. You want to make sure their footwork looks good, and you want to make sure that they're in shape at least. That's what you want to make sure when they show up to OTAs. But once you get to training camp, it's a whole different ball game. Then we're going to see the real competitors. We're going to see the guys that rise to the top of this roster and see what this depth chart is going to look like. Okay, when preseason comes and all that, I just don't think that JJ is going to have a chance. I mean, maybe with Trevon Grimes, on IR, maybe he'll definitely get the practice squad. I think with Trevon Grimes here, I think he would have probably been off this team totally. but you never know at this point. So in the comment section below, I want to know what you guys think about JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and obviously the comments that Aaron Moorehead had to say about him. I understand coaches aren't going to throw guys under the bus. They're not going to say, oh, he's not great, he's not going to make the team. They're not going to say that. But it's just something to think about, because you know what? You can have praise for him, but I really don't. You drafted Devontae Smith. You have Jalen Reagor's going to be a nice compliment. Greg Ward is got one of the most reliable hands on this team, especially with Jalen Hurts, especially when they kind of collaborated in that season, the 4-game stretch last year. I just think there's just too much really short. A lot of these receivers, and John Hightower and Quez Watkins and Travis Fulgham, all these guys, just the short-term success. I think they just played better than JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He's got a recovery fumble for a touchdown. I mean, that's all he's got. I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. So, I mean, I can go on and on about this player, but, enough's enough. I don't think he's going to do much of anything, and that's really it. So, other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. Shakes going up, follows fly. Peace out, guys. Peace.